Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. So happy to see all of you here. How are you? Good, alhamdulillah. Okay, let's invoke some blessings from Allah. We'll open this majlis with Al-Fatihah. Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Okay. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق والناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. Okay, this is the most weird part because I have to introduce myself. Okay, I think half of you, mashallah, I've known all of you personally. Brother Arif came all the way from Johor Bahru. He's one of the owner of my travelogue, which was produced and published in 2015. So a bit of background, probably, though I don't really need to do it, but okay, khair. Wardah is a knowledge-seeking enthusiast, a heart-centric model developer and trainer, a translator, traveler, and also an author. Those are among the tools for her journeying to self. These tools are partly documented in her self-help book of travelogue genre entitled Menjejak Cinta di Bumi Tuhan, or Tracing Divine Love. After spending almost 20 years in the corporate world, she bid farewell and turned to focus on reviewing the purpose and meaning of life from the worldview of Islam. She then continues to transfer skills and knowledge via training programs and private retreats. Her undimmed desire as an experiential learner and student of knowledge are encapsulated in her traveling, experiencing, continuously learning of both Western and Eastern civilization. Well, not much, only 35 countries so far, one more to beat, even a Batuta, inshallah, make dua for her. So therefore, the content of her training programs, workshops, etc. in Malaysia as well as abroad are based on the framework of worldview of Islam, focusing on re-engaging the heart and rekindling self-growth curiosity, contextualized with present challenges, intermeshed with her skills and ability she attained during her tenure in the corporate world, as well as after. She is also a Hikmah Fellowship, the first cohort, 2017, and also WISE 2011 alumni, and now the founder of the Ansar Initiative. Okay. So what is the Ansar Initiative that brought you here? That, gather all of us here tonight in this blessed Mukha, alhamdulillah, thank you to Aman and the team. So, I'm just going to read what is written on the poster. Life challenges, struggles, and testing times may shake or deem to break you. At the same time, you know that there lies strengths within. How do you connect and use them effectively? That's a reservoir, untapped reservoir. So how do you capitalize on that one? The Ansar Initiative holds a collective space to empower journeying to self and extract those strengths. So we want to have deep conversation in a safe environment, nobody judging anyone, no one supposed to stick any label on anyone, okay, including me. Okay, don't try to label or judge me either, please. And then we try to give meaning and understanding to it, to each and every tests, challenges, concerns that we go through in everyday life, that we move forward, okay? So the faces behind this initiative, other than the Ansar Initiative itself, are Mukha, alhamdulillah, Madinah Institute Malaysia, and Afia Healing, that bridge Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and Birmingham, UK. So may this bridge, this is our intention, may Allah accept from all of us, may this bridge be the conduit that serves humanity from both worlds, the East and the West, by and with His grace and mercy, Ameen. So the journey has just begun. So this is not going to be the first and the last time, this is just introduction, inshallah. So we'll hold the space on a monthly basis. We will discuss as and when we go. We'll come up with a team. So we bring whatever it is on the table, inshallah. Okay. So with that, we have about 8 agenda for the night to cover. We will try to do 45 minutes in the beginning about journeying to self, the concept and the context. And then we will have 30 minutes question and answer. Okay? All right. Is everybody comfortable? Can everyone hear my voice clearly? I'm not murmuring or not mumbling to myself, yeah? Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay. So now, journeying to self. It's not about a journey. It's not about the journey. It's about journey. It's an active act that we do within ourselves. Yes? Okay. And I would like to bring to your awareness, to your attention. Do you have any one thing in your life that you are working on now? One thing. Just bring it back. Make it alive now. As well as its framework. And we'll see whether we could actually jive along the line. And I really appreciate that any one of you could share. What is it that touches you the most, that you think that you could fit in your framework, okay? This is a cliche question, but probably it's good to ask as well once in a while. Where do we come from? And where we are heading to? So between these 2 points, what do we do in between? Have you ever reflected about it on every day? That's like my daily food for my soul. Alhamdulillah. So, can I say, do you agree with me if I were to say, healing is a journey from the tomb to the womb? It's not about someone facing a trauma or facing a life event that like almost crushed them. But on a daily basis, we always go through different moments altogether. You do not know what would come to you the next second. And sometimes you don't even know where this feeling coming from. You felt joy, you felt happy, you felt, I could conquer the mountain, man. But all of a sudden you felt like, oh my goodness, I don't even want to leave my bed. But where's this feeling coming from? That's part of our inner landscape. SubhanAllah. Okay. So this beautiful quotation by Vienna Ferron talking about healing was never meant to be easy. It's not like Buddha in the mountain. That kind of image that people always see, like the spirituality is all about that. People able to walk on the water, though yes, there is a story about that, but the first level is always the hardest. So healing was never meant to be easy. It always required us to be wounded first. Ouch. Touche. You can't heal if there isn't wound. Okay, this is the most beautiful part. And you can't grow if there isn't healing. To meet new parts of ourselves means we have to lose old parts first. Ow. Can you imagine? Oof. So loosen the grip. Because sometimes in life, sometimes I do that as well. I hold my fist and this deep voice inside me, no, Wardah, let it go. Loosen the grip and let the wounding teach what it is you need to learn. Well, we can agree to disagree. All right. And as we travel from, where we came from, we would certainly recollect. In Al-Quran, Allah mentioned in Surah 17, Surah Al-A'raf, Ayah 172. And Allah asked us, Alastu bi Rabbikum? And all of us answer, Qalu, Bala Shahidna. And we enter the gate. We go through the gate of our mother, being given birth to this earth. And that's when our journey began. Yes? And what is it that we want to achieve at the end of our life? Okay, death is not morbid. It's alhamdulillah, our tradition is so beautiful. It's good to remember about death more often than not because, alhamdulillah. So Allah said in the Quran, the interpretation is children and wealth are of no benefit except if you return to Him, biqalbin salim, A qalb that is sane, that is tranquil, that is in peace. And that is the state that we want to return to Allah. Inshallah, may Allah grant us that and make us among those people, I mean. So along the line, we have a lot of ships that we voyage with. All sorts of relationships. Relationships with our siblings, with our parents, with our uncles and aunts. That's under the family context. And then we have our neighbors and whatnot under the social context. And then we have a bigger context. And we are the citizen of the world. Okay, but do we really look at our differences as something we want to embrace, we want to celebrate? Color, tradition, architecture, art, civilization, and whatnot. Because if I were ask you to close your eyes now, you can only listen to my voice. You have no idea what I look like, right? You can't even give me color. You can't even tell me what am I. You can't. So at the end of the day, we are all spiritual beings having experience in this mortal world. And all of us want to return in that state of Qalbin Salim. Okay, so what types of relationship? So we talk about relationships that we're building in our family context, social context, and whatnot. And I think it would be easier for us to look at as X and Y axis. X is our relationship with Allah, sah? And Y is our relationship with not only people, but all the things that Allah has given us with, for us to be the representative of Allah, to preserve the harmony, the balance, and whatnot. Okay, now, there are 3 words that I'd like you to think and bring to your awareness. What does that mean to you? What is life? What life means to you? And what feelings and emotion means to you? And what love means to you? So life, feeling or emotion, and also love. Is there someone else, or is there anyone else now living in your mind rent-free? They are not paying any rent, but they kind of haunt you. They're like, oh, he's always there. Probably 1%, 2%, 3%. Okay, I'm just throwing this question to just bring it back. We'll go through why we do it, why we do what we are doing, okay? So the next one is, we talk about love, about life, about relationships, about emotion. So the next one is, what does this world really mean? What does it mean? So let's refer a bit on Surah Al-Mulk, the second ayah. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. Isn't that all that Allah requires from us to do? It's not about doing 1, 2, 3, 4 whatsoever, but He is checking on us. These are all the tests. The best of deeds. It's not about me checking and, hey, how do you do? Are you not supposed to do this and that? No, it's not about that. It's about me engaging with it and ask myself, what is it? Because whatever changes that I wanted to do is not out there. And Allah promised in the Surah Al-Ra'd, Allah said, the condition of a person, of a being, a nation will not be changed until they change what is in themselves. It's nufus again. It's a nafs, it's the inner work. Alright, so life is all about tests plus ahsanu amala. Okay, we get that concept. Okay, we get that equation now. Anybody wants to disagree, that's fine. Please say something. Okay, move on. Alright, okay. So therefore, What do human beings supposed to do? What do we supposed to do? Putting the world into its perspective and putting what we're supposed to do in accordance to His direction, it's like hand in hand. And I know this is nothing new to all of us, to all of you, but let's just bring that into awareness again. Put that into our framework of discussion, our conversation tonight, okay? لَقَدْ خَلَقْتُ الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. So all of us being created in the state of kabad, stress, toiling, stress and toiling. Subhanallah, Allah taught all of us this to give us the reality. So if we want to have a life that is like a bed of roses, we are not there yet, right? This is not Jannah, not yet. Okay, but in the face of that adversity, the problem itself is not a problem, but how we respond to it. All right, and the next one is لَقَدْ خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. So we come back to that axis of X, which is to worship Him. Does that only contain to ibadah, which is khusus, which is specific khususiyah, like prayer, fast, zakat, and whatnot? And what does prayer actually means? It's salah. So whatever we do in the prayer, we're supposed to be continuously doing it, even after prayer, 24/7. We want to be in the state of remembrance of Allah, because ala bi dhikrillah tutma'innul qulub. Because only in the remembrance of Allah, the heart become tranquil. So we want to give it a muscle kind of training, so that inshallah, hopefully, we return to Allah in that state of qalbin salim. So therefore, these are all skills, soft skills that we master. We become stronger through what? Through test, over and over and over and over. Think about how long we have lived in this world. Are we free from test? Even someone that we look as if they are perfect, they are struggling. Just like the duck we see on the pond. They look so gracefully, moving from one end to the other end, but deep down, they are actually paddling. Are we not like that? So it has to be in accordance with the divine standard and His sacred order, because all this that shape and mold our worldviews, mashallah. So let's contextualize what we have discussed earlier. We'll bring a narration to assist us on that by presenting a theme. What is your identity? Like myself, what is my identity? Okay, this is the cheesy part. So I think I will use a prop. What Tabi went through, why Afia Healing come into the picture, why tonight's topic, we began with journeying to self. This is not unique to Tabi alone. All of us struggle in our own way. All of us have our own tests or whatsoever, and sometimes we feel like we are breaking, like there's no one around us, no one at all. We try to reach out to our friends. We try to, but all of a sudden people are like, they have their own things to do. You woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2:30, 4 a.m. You're like, I need to speak somewhere. You are crying. You're like, you felt so awful. Who do you reach out to? Yes, Allah, but can you reach out to yourself? Can you really be your own best friend? Or you're not comfortable at all? Yeah, I know. It's paradox, isn't it? Sorry?
It's not realistic.
Not realistic? In what sense?
Well, I mean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Hawa alayhi salam for Nabi Adam alayhi salam. So He knew that he couldn't even exist in paradise half by himself.
Right.
So for us to look within ourselves is futile.
Yeah.
We're put in this dunya to love and care for each other.
Yes. Alhamdulillah. So that is the reason of, Allah created everything in pair, that is His promise. But along the line, sometimes you match with a misfit pair. In a marriage context, for example, she wants Teletubby, the yellow ones, but somehow or other he went missing. So they met Paddington Bear. So what happened? He has a different worldview altogether, different psychological makeup altogether. Do they do proper ta'aruf? Not really, probably, I don't know. Okay, that's their story. So sometimes they have to people have to live. It's either they live and our final destination, I might not be here tomorrow even. Okay, so what brought Teletubby discussing about all this tonight? To contextualize what she went through, the modality that she has been working on, or she has been on research. She was doing her research for, I think, about 11 to 12, 13 years, for that matter. We come back to identity as a girl. Okay, let's look at Teletubby as a girl or a lady, a woman. What usually brings stick to her?
Gender roles.
Sorry?
Gender roles.
Gender roles, okay. Like what?
Housewife.
Housewife, mother. What else?
Nurturer, caregiver.
Nurturer, caregiver, okay. So we hear mother, we hear wife. What else? Sorry? Can't hear? Daughter. Okay, daughter. But more often than not, people focus on what? She as a mother and a wife. Like, oh, she is someone, like, hey, she is a person. Okay, this is not feminism ideology. Okay, no. Because some of Arab culture, they even mention the wife's name. Okay, I could speak something about Arab because I'm an Arab too. So I don't think they would be, angry at me for saying that. But sometimes the identity is just lost. Like, she is not present when she is not someone's wife and she is not someone's mother. Is that all in life? Yes, they are good. Of course, they're good in it and whatnot. But some people have to go through that episodes in life. What if I say that Tubby, she's such a loving person? She's, all women are given raham, right? So raham in itself comes from the word rahmah. Loving, compassion and whatnot. What if she has lost 2 babies or 4 babies along the line? She lost 7 months twins while carrying them. And that's the reason how her marriage can be saved. And she lost it. How would she deal with it? Wasn't she in trauma? And with the label and stick, or the sticks, stick all over her, saying that you're not really a perfect woman. You can't give birth to children, you can't be a biological mother. How would Tubby feel? Then, because of the different worldview, they have to go separate way. And she trusts that, yes, Allah created everything in pair. She believed in marriage again. She met another one. I don't have another color, but we can use this just for, figuratively speaking. But probably again, ta'aruf was not done. Probably, I'm not sure. This is like, have you heard of narcissists? Have you heard of sociopath? So too bad. Or that is actually the best class for her to grow. She had to live with this person, her husband, with that kind of personality. So we talk about narcissists. It can cause cognitive dissonance to human being, which affect brain, And some people, they do not recover at all. But this tabi, she's very strong. Not only she went through that life for 6 years, but because of so much trauma installed in her body, she experienced it because there's disability of people relating to her, the absence of empathic individual, she didn't feel safe whatsoever. And that has caused her cancer. Okay. So she wanted to become a mother. She wanted that very badly. To prove to herself or whatsoever, it does not matter, but she wanted to be a mother. Cancer episode, bam, affected her uterus. And you know what happened? To save her life, it has to be removed. So did she lose her identity? Did she crumble? How did she go through that? So after that episode, she took 1 year to heal herself, to look for remedy, because she is not only care about herself, but the people who have been her strongest support system. Her mother, family, her friends, close friends, and the people that she met along the line, alhamdulillah. So the tabi that you see today has been through all that. I've met some of you during the trial period. It was last year, March and April. I wasn't like this, right? So, having that in mind, I came forward and I speak to Aman. I speak to some of us who really share this love for the society, that I think it is time for us to come together and really bring our real issue on the table. Talk to us. What is it that you need to work on? What is it that you are facing? Because that is the fundamental thing that we need as human beings. We need to be seen and we need to be heard as well. No one has to suffer in silence. So along the line, inshallah, who knows, one day we could bring these people together. We could, be the Cupid. So they can bring a beautiful life together and spend the rest of their life with, inshallah. We do not know. But we got to start with a good intention for the sake of Allah and for the sake of the Ummah, inshallah. Okay. So, having that in mind, this is a beautiful quote by Shams, the teacher of Rumi, Shams Tabrizi. He said, "The universe is a complete, unique entity. Everything and everyone is bound together with some invisible strings. Do not break anyone's heart. Do not look down on those weaker than you. One sorrow at the other side of the world can make the entire world suffer. One's happiness can make the entire world smile." Yeah. So spread smile and salam wherever we go, regardless whether we know them or otherwise, because that is the most simplest sunnah that we could hold on to, so that Rasulullah SAW could be so happy with us and he could smile to us every now and then. Okay. Afia healing. I discovered Afia healing after testing so many. I attended a lot of workshops, and I have background in counseling as well. Okay, so I'm quite familiar with CBT, EFT, the psychotherapist modality, just talk, so hands and so forth. But remember, we have 3 rukun, which is rukun Islam, rukun Iman, and rukun Ihsan. The most beautiful part about rukun Ihsan, we talk about heart, right? We talk about heart. And that's where the heart is being alive. So without Ihsan, our heart, I would say, it's dead. And the element of tazkiyah and also tarbiyah also lies in that. Because Rasulullah said, in a human being, there's one flesh. If this flesh is healthy, and the rest of the organ is healthy, and in fact, that is the locus of human being. Without heart, can we be here? I'll be dead. And with that, our spiritual heart, can we get in touch with the reality, the ultimate reality, what this world is and where we're heading to. Therefore, I'll give you a bit of background on Afia healing. It's a natural healing modality that focuses primarily on breath and body-mind awareness techniques to facilitate and accelerate the healing process. It is a combination of simple techniques that are easy to learn and apply, prompting the body to restore itself to equilibrium. You have heard this quote, stronger the mind, stronger the body. But now we talk about spirituality. Mind is just one component of spirituality. Spirituality is as a whole. And our bodies are constantly reliant on the free flow of life force energy for all the day-to-day functions. When this energy flow is disrupted, either by physical injuries or emotions, symptoms of pain and discomfort arise to highlight this imbalance. During the healing session, the practitioner will begin with realigning the body using energy and then determine thereafter if the ailment is physical or emotionally rooted. Body intelligence plays an integral part in the healing process. Once blockages are removed from the energy pathways, the body begins to heal naturally. Isn't that? It's like continuation of the ayah that we reflected on earlier. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. So we were created in that perfect, because Allah created, because Allah is perfect, so He created something perfect. But along the line we pick up all sorts of toxin because of our exposure, our family values, even our own values that we pick up along the way. We mold, we build, and it becomes our belief system and whatnot. And how do we bring back that mechanism so that it could work on its own? Okay, we are not saying that don't take medicine whatsoever, but this is something that you can explore. So I have done the webinar last year in October, and when I studied, the more I hear, and I called him, I said, Zuhair, this is very much in tandem with the discipline of Tazkiyatun Nafs, the nature of man and psychology of human soul, the work of Imam Al-Ghazali that is expounded by Tan Sri Professor Nagib Al-Atas. It has very much, it's so potent with all that element. It's yes, Wardah, but we do not give name to it. We want people to experience, and they are the one who give name to it because it's their journey. So that's why we call it a creative healing path. Because there's no one size fits all. I made it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm done with it. But some people may need 20 or 25 or 30. So it's all about the journey. I'm not saying that this is the ultimate thing, but I would say this is a holistic approach to it, that whatever I've learned before, I can just put that into the framework and I can experiment and I can experience it and I could get result, okay? So that's why we want to bring Afia healing to Malaysia, inshallah, on the 6th and 7th April. Sorry? Afia healing modality. Okay? The healing modality that I just read out for you just now. It really, subhanallah, because it was not only me alone in that program, it was about 30 of us. Until now, we still have support group. We check on each other. We learn, we grow together. And as we are holding this space, they are making dua for all of us. MashaAllah. Okay. So we almost come to the final part. How do you fill up your cup? Do you have a cup? Your cup of contentment, your cup of making you feel you. What is it that you do to fill up your cup? Books? Golf? Hiking? What do you do? Dancing, awesome. Music, cool. Do you sing, by the way?
Yes.
So you can be the Bradley Cooper and I can be Ellie. So we sing Shallow. I love that song. What about you?
Desserts.
Dessert. Yummy.
Baking or eating both.
Oh wow. Yourself?
I do things that I like to do for myself.
MashaAllah, that's lovely. Do you care share one of them? Food. I know. I tasted your food. It's lovely. It's beautiful, mashallah. I remember the deep that you shared with us. So beautiful. It comes from your garden, the tomatoes. I cannot forget that.
Farming.
Yeah. And you, what do you? How do you fill up your cup?
Doing something creative.
Something creative. Beautiful. And yourself? Read. Yourself? Yeah. Painting. Oh, wonderful. You read. Sorry? Alone time, me time. Wonderful. Not doing anything. Wonderful. Exercise. Yoga? MashaAllah. That's wonderful. Okay. Other than walking barefooted, that's how I ground myself. And sometimes when I find big old tree, I just cannot stop myself from hugging the tree. Hug the tree. Because my late father, since I was 7 years old, he told me this. You should love this tree so much. I said, why? Because I felt like they're just trees. Because of trees, we could have oxygen. They're like the lungs of this world. And they give us so much. But do we really appreciate them? So go and hug the tree and smell the oxygen. So I think my father was the one who taught me all that. I don't do that in Malaysia, but whenever I travel abroad, I would do it. But I do it quietly. If I go to frame, no one is looking. If you happen to stumble upon a woman hugging a tree, okay, don't freak out, it's me. Okay? All right. So, among other things as well is books. And this is so beautiful, this is from Haemin Sunim, and the things you can see only when you slow down. He wrote this: within each of us, there is an inner witness quietly observing what goes on inside and outside of us, born from a place of silence and wisdom. Even when the world churns up a storm of emotions, the witness sits calmly in the eye of the storm, unharmed, luminous, and all-knowing. I look at this, I remember I attended this spiritual wellness and mindful resilience in Cambridge Muslim College last year. We talk about, I think I mentioned about the title, spiritual wellness and mindful resilience is about, I have a thought, but my thought is not me. I have emotion, but emotion is not me. All of that is not the sum of me, because emotions, yes, they are energy in motion. Feelings, they morph, they change. If we are courageous enough to sit, like that fella do, she sat with the emotion. Whatever that come to her, just like a clouds that pass by. If you lie down one day and look up to the sky, because the feeling of you looking up like this and you lie down is two different feeling altogether. Give it a try. When you look up, you just observe the sky. Sometimes you see babies, sometimes you see cat, dragon, whatever. And the clouds just pass by, it changes form, it changes. Sometimes the color is white, sometimes it's gray, sometimes it's like dark gray. It's about to rain. And then when it passes, you see the lowest heaven, the blue color, and that's you. So the clouds just pass you by, the test of life pass you by. This too shall pass, but can you really say it when you don't really, or you run away from experiencing it? You can't. There's something is missing when you don't go through what you need to go through. Sitting with your emotion, listen to it, but don't give too much attention to it. You engage to disengage. Approve it, embrace our darkness and our light. I think we're okay. Day in, day out. So that's what we want to master. Okay, this is just a teaser. Okay, so what we can do with our life. Since we talk about creative, why we use the word creative? Is it only meant for people who do art, who can draw, who can do origami or whatsoever? Is that all? Creative in giving solutions, creative in thinking, lateral thinking. whatever thinking modality that you can think of. And through tests, you become creative. Do you notice or not? You think of a way to make yourself feel better. You think of a way to survive. They call it neuroplasticity. They call it spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing is as good as frozen, but that's the only thing you know that you can do to save you, to keep you alive, for you to do your things that you need to do every day. Do you have this truck, like banging you whatsoever, but you just need to function. You have to function. You become creative. Then you learn every day. So that's why when you have this relationship with yourself, you can have inquiry within yourself that would actually help you a lot. And that's your best friend. And the pious predecessor was saying, "Man arafa nafsahu faqad arafa rabbahu." Those who know themselves, therefore they know the Rabb. It's a journey. We can't know our Rabb in entirety, certainly no. But we can have some idea by looking at us, looking at people around us. I hope it makes sense. All right? Okay. And there's also, poetry is part of creative as well. Everything, creative is all about expression. Some people are good at expressing, their tone of voice, their voice, they're good at playing musical instrument, drawing, what else? There's all sorts of things, even writing. Some people can write khat or whatsoever. Some people can do the yoga pose, certain pose, but not everybody can do that, the lotus pose. Not everybody, right? So that is part of creative. So creative is not limited to only that arts per se. Everybody can be an artist. So one of the poetry that hit me the most, about 2 weeks ago, like I have this yearning, I have this uncured yearning. And sometimes, do you agree that sometimes you feel that way? Whoever is next to you, even you have a loving spouse, you have your children with you, you have the people that you love around you, you feel so comfortable in that place, but there's sometimes that you have this yearning. Probably because we yearn to return to Eden, because that's where we came from. So therefore, a friend of mine given this poetry by Imam al-Haddad, Imam Abdullah al-Haddad. Do you mind if I read that for you? Okay, then we'll move on to the question and answer, inshallah. The title is قَدْ كَفَانِي عِلْمُ رَبِّي. My Lord's knowledge suffices me. From asking or choosing my prayer and my pleading, bear witness to my neediness. By the secret I supplicate in times of ease and in times of difficulty. I'm a slave. My only pride lies in poverty and need unto thee. O my Lord, my King, you are aware of my state and of the worries and preoccupations that have overwhelmed my heart. So set me right with gentle grace from you, O Master of Masters. O most generous one, save me before I exhaust my patience with myself. O swift in granting aid, grant me aid from you, which will reach me swiftly, vanquishing all difficulty and bringing the fulfillment of all that we hope for. O most near answerer of prayers, all-knowing, all-hearing one, I acknowledge my incapacity, my lack of power, and my brokenness. Yet here I stand at your door, so have mercy, my Lord, on my standing. And I withdraw unto the valley of grace, so make my retreat here abiding. A good opinion of my Lord is binding, for he is my close friend, my ally, my intimate, the one who is with me throughout the day and the night. the need in my soul, O Lord, fulfill it. You are the best of those who fulfill. And soothe my soul and my heart from the burning fire inside them with pleasure and joy, and that with which you are pleased. Let bliss and expansion be my state, my covering and my blanket. So let's recite Al-Fatiha to Imam Abdullah Al-Haddad for reciting such beautiful poetry, Al-Fatiha. So I like to close with Tasbih Kafara. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. I apologize if I have said something which may hurt you or may make you feel whatever it is. I truly apologize. So thank you very much. Take a good care of yourselves. See you soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.